Good day, dear future linguists. I am glad to see you here at my lecture, which is devoted to cooperative principle of Grice, which one of the most interesting topics of pragmatics. And as we know, pragmatics is the subject which deals with the use of language, that is, how we use the language. So cooperative principle or something related to communication principle is very important in your future career in intercultural communication and language studies. And now let me introduce myself. My name is Ganieva. I am from Fergana State University. I am professor and doctor of philological science. And this Fergana State University is situated in Uzbekistan, in the Fergana Valley, which is one of the most beautiful sites of Uzbekistan. So now let's begin our lecture. In linguistics, the cooperative principle describes how people achieve effective conversational communication in common social interactions. That is how listeners and speakers act comparatively and mutually accept their to be understood in a particular way. Here, in order to make our conversation more effective and more successful, we need such kind of cooperative principle. Paul Grice introduces the cooperative principle in his article Logic and Conversation, which was published in 1975. The principle is based on the assumption that participants in a conversation cooperate with each other and usually attempt to be truthful, to be informative, to be relevant, to be meaningful, and in order to make their communication be more effective. And in order to make our conversation more effective and more meaningful, Grice suggested that dialogue is characterized by cooperation and said, each participant recognizes in them, to some extent, a common purpose or set of purposes, or at least a mutually accepted direction. In simple terms, cooperative principle describes how people achieve effective communication in everyday situations and aims to explain how and why conversations can be successful or sometimes can fail. So it means that in order to make our communication more effective, in order to make our communication to be succeeded, we need such kind of principles. We need to be clear, we need to be true, we need to be informative, etc. Grice expanded on his cooperative principle with his 4 conversational maxims. These conversational maxims was the idea of conversational maxims in order to facilitate successful communication. It is necessary to say enough to get your point across. In order to make your communication successful, you should give relevant information, you should be clear, and you should be truthful as well. And if we speak about 4 maxims of cooperative principle by Grice, here you can see them. So this states that we interpret the language on the assumption that a speaker is obeying the 4 maxims of quality. This indicates that we should be true in order to make our communication more successful. And it is maxim of quantity. It is being brief in our speech. So it means that we should give enough opinions, not so more, not so less, in order to make our conversation more effective. And the third maxim of cooperative principle, it is relation. which means we should be, the speaker or the listener should be relevant to the given information, to the heard information. And the last maxim is maxim of Banner, and it means to be clear when we speak, when we talk with somebody. And if we speak more detailed about maxim of quality, in simple terms, the maxim of quality is to be truthful. And here we can see some super maxims and sub maxims. And super maxim is here, try to make your contribution one that is true. Sub maxim is here, do not say what you believe is false. Do not say that for which you lack adequate evidence. So in order to be clear, in order our communication should be truthful, we shouldn't use any kind of false information, and also if we don't have enough information in any sphere, we mustn't give such kind of information to our listener, because in this case we don't have enough adequate evidence, and our communication can fail. And next maxim is, as we have mentioned, it is maxim of quantity, and here we speak about being informative as much as possible. And here sub-maxim is make your contribution is informative as is required, that is current purposes of the exchange. Do not make your contribution more informative than is required. And about this maxim, Paul Grice writes the following: if you are assisting me to mend a car, I expect your contribution to be neither more or no less is required. If, for example, at a particular stage I need 4 screws, I expect you to give me not 6, but 4 screws only. So here we can understand that in order to make our conversation informative, we should give the required information, the required volume of information. If we give more information, it means that our listener can be uploaded and can have overloaded with the information. Or if we give not enough information, in this case, our listener cannot be satisfied with the information which we have provided. And next maxim is the maxim of relation or relevance. Be relevant, that is, one should ensure that all the information they provide is relevant to the current exchange, therefore omitting any irrelevant information. In his book, Grice also says the following analogy for this maxim: I expect a partner's contribution to be appropriate to the immediate needs at each stage of the interaction. If I'm mixing ingredients for a cake, I do not expect to be handed a good book or even an oven close through the. So this might be an appropriate contribution at a later stage. It means that if we are mixing a cake, if we are mixing ingredients of cake, we need our assistant to give only ingredients of this cake. We do not need any kind of clothes for example, cooking, or we do not need an oven for cooking, because we don't have the production, and that's why we only need ingredients of this cake. And also in the communication, also in order to be relevant, we need to give the relevant information, not the information from the prior stage, or not the information from later stages. So this is the maxim of relation. And the last maxim, which was proposed by Paul Grice, is maxim of manner or maxim of clarity. And here also we can understand that this maxim is related to our communications, that it must be clear. In simple terms, the maxim of manner is to be clear. Whereas the previous maxims are primarily concerned with what is said. In this maxim we speak about have to be said, have to give any kind of information in our conversation. And here the super maxim is be perspicuous. And here also in this manner of maxim of manner, we can also find some sub-maxims too, and there we can find some of them. They avoid obscurity of expression. That's avoid language that is difficult to understand. And next one, avoid ambiguity. That's avoid language that can be interpreted in multiple ways, in different ways. We can, for example, if we say something not so understandable, our listener can understand it differently, or another listener can understand it differently, and this can make confusion in their understanding. And be brief. That is, avoid unnecessary prolixity. And the last one is be orderly. That is, provide information in order that makes sense and makes at least the recipient to process it. And now we can see in this slide, you can see some examples for maxims. And if we speak about the first example, the capital of India is New Delhi, where we can see the maxim of quality is used here, because as we know, here the information is true, and this kind of truthful information and only needed information is given by the speaker. It means that the speaker is obeying the maxim of quality. And the second example, speaker A. Do you know if Kathy got on okay with her exams? Speaker B. Yes, I do. She did really well and got an A. So in this example, we can see that speaker A is asking about the exam results of Kathy, and the speaker B is giving the enough information. The speaker B says that she has succeeded and she has got such kind of A mark. So it is, we can say, enough information, and this kind of answer, the speaker B's answer is informative enough for the question given by the speaker A. And the third example here, we can see speaker A. Do you think Leo is dating someone new? So speaker B, well, he goes to Brighton most weekends. So here we can see the speaker A is asking about Leo's new date, and here we can see that speaker B is not saying that the Leo is dating a new girl or somebody else, but the speaker B says that it's saying that he is going to Brighton, and it means that in Brighton Leo has a new date, and that's why he is going to Brighton most weekends. And here, when maybe we can understand that the information given by the speaker B is not so informative, but also it is the relevant information according to the situation, according to the communication purposes. And the last example here, I am writing an essay on metonymy. I am writing an essay on metonymy. It is a type of figure of speech. In this example, we can see that the speaker is being clear. Firstly, he says that he is writing an essay on metonymy, and in order to make his speech more clear, he says that metonymy is a figure of speech. So here we can see that in pragmatics and intercultural communication, in any kind of communication, following, obeying the maxims of Paul Grice are very important to make our conversation more successful and more effective. Now, this is the end of my lecture. Thank you for your attention. See you soon.